everybody, what's up? We're going to talk a little bit today in the airplane in 13 Hotel. Having a great time talking again about crossovers between flying
free for 802 again.
And self-defense.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
So one of the interesting things about flying, you gotta listen to the radios if you're gonna fly a small plane. It's practice, probably one of the things that new pilots have the hardest time with is learning the radios, learning how to call, what to say, how to hear what everyone's saying. It's kind of a different language. And that's cool. It's really actually a fun time. Once you get used to it, once you learn the language, it's not too bad at all. I'm scanning my instruments and flying the plane outside, so that's why I'm not talking to you too much, but you're along for my flight today. How about that? So one of the things that we talk about all the time is correct talking on the radio. We talked about the 5 points, again, who you're talking to, who you are, where you are, what you need, shut up and listen. But the other part of that is that when you're in the middle of an emergency is stay off the radio, okay? Stay off the radio. We talked about this in the TAP-IFs and in the acronyms, is that when we have...
Albuquerque Center, this is Aviator 47. We're about 7 miles from Eloy, and I was just wondering if there's any jumping activity.
So one of the things that we talk about with that all the time is that, you find your best airspeed, you look at your best place to land, you run your checklist, then you finally declare an emergency. That just lets ATC know if they need to clear other people out of your area. But here's the big thing. Nobody's coming to save you in an airplane, okay? So if something goes wrong in your plane, you and only you can save your life. Same thing for my Cobb friends, right? This is a big deal, is that no one's coming to save you. I don't care how fast the radio is. I know that you want to get on the radio.
Southwest 3273, contact Albuquerque Center, 135.15. 3515 and Southwest 3273, thanks.
But they're not going to get there in time for you to be affected in your fight. So win your fight first. Get your fight won, then tell them what you need, right? So this is why we say who you are, where you are, what you need, and then shut up. So you can't just say shots fired. Well, that doesn't tell them anything. Suspect down. I need a rescue ambulance or officer hit. Roll help my way. So that you tell them what you need and what's going on. And that's the same thing here when you're flying a plane. That was really put to me when I was flying the plane. You can only tell ATC what you need. Hey, I'm gonna do this thing, especially when you're in an emergency, right? In a little airplane, if you declare an emergency, you basically have the go-ahead from the FAA to break any rule you need to. Now, not just to break any rule that you want to, but to break any rule that you need to in order to safely navigate your problem. And then, as long as you can justify it on the ground later, you shouldn't have a problem with the FAA. And that's exactly what we talk about here on the channel when we're talking about radio.
Center Envoy 3485 280, descend me to the ping 1.
Is in that moment of emergency, you have the right to do what you need to do, and you do what you need to do, of course, within the confines of the law and within the policies of your department. But you do what you got to do to save your life, because nobody is coming to save you, fam. So,
Envoy 3485, Phoenix Altimeter 2989er.
2989er, Envoy 3485.
Unless you have a need that you can articulate and you know what that is, which means that you are thinking clearly, stay off your radio, right? Shut up. Don't run the radio, solve your problem first, and then go from there. So how does this apply to the private citizen? Well, listen, I'm on the same frequency as the big boys are, as the professionals are in the airplane, right? So, your airline pilots are running the same frequencies I am. So I have the same connection to ATC that they do. So from a pilot's perspective, it doesn't matter what kind of pilot you are, you're going to be talking to them the same. As a private citizen, of course, I want you to be aware that when you call 911, that's your communication, right? And your main goal in there is to tell them who you are, where you are, what you need, and then shut up. Who you are, where you are, what you need, and shut up. So to put a fine point on it, you cannot talk your way out of charges, and you cannot say enough to the 911 operator to get yourself out of charges. You need to tell them what you need, for sure. However, you don't need to blab to them because everything you're saying is being recorded. And that can be used against you in a court of law. It's 100% admissible. Everything you say on that 911 call from the moment, ooh, little bumps today, from the moment that the phone starts ringing, it's being recorded. So, shut up. Get off of the phone. Keep from telling them things that you don't want to tell them, so then that way you don't get in any trouble for that. Hope that helps you in your communication styles.